My name is Do Not Obey, and let's get started. Let's get it. What's up, guys? It's me, Do Not Obey, and let's get into this video. Now, we are diving back into black goo. I've done a video on black goo. Please, if you don't know what it's about, do a quick research or check out my video that's on the screen here, and hopefully that can get you some insight. It's not long. But we have some updated information as far as the black goo. Now, Prometheus is a good movie that'll also introduce you to the black goo. Black goo allegedly has also been used to help control the minds of the people. It's a bonding agent. It's something that's been around for a long, long time. You can say maybe an invasion of the body snatchers, the faculty, the list goes on. They live. So check out some of these stories. These are from some peoples now. This is updated. And like I said, black goo's been around a long time. I researched this years ago. It's 2025, 2026, and I believe most of the information I found was in 2025, 2024. I'm not sure. I'm just now getting back to this video, but it's updated. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. And like I always say, do not obey. Stay woke. Peace.
So on this night, we're patrolling, and the patrol is almost coming to an end. We've been out for about maybe 4 or 5 hours. That's usually the amount of time that we go out anyway when we go to patrol. So it's like the 3rd hour into this patrol, and we go into this civilian's house. It's a pretty large house, and it's overlooking this part of this desert, if you want to call it that, but it has like some palm groves in it. So we're on top of this rooftop, and my buddy number 2, he's like, yo, look at this. It's a guy bent over, and you can tell like he's digging or something. I said, what the fuck is he doing? I said, he must be planting an IED or something. He was like, hold on, let me look a little closer. So he does. He was like, I can't really make out what he's doing. So he fires a warning shot. I said, number 2, you gotta stop giving these motherfuckers passes. So, long story short, I was carrying the M249, and I just passed it off to a younger Marine. So now I'm carrying the M16A4 again, with the ACOG, of course. So I zero in on his ass, and I shoot him in the chest. Bow. He falls over. I'm like, this is how you do it, number 2. Man, not even a couple seconds later, this mother is back up, still fucking around on this ground, putting something in a hole. I said, hell no, not again. Number 2 is like, yo, man, what the fuck is up with these people that just won't die? I said, I don't know, but this motherfucker's dying right now. I take a shot. Bow. I hit him. Knocked the juice out. That's the end of him. But when we go down there to searching, there's no one there. There's no blood, for entertainment purposes only. There's no red marks. There's not even no fucking footprints. But there's this black substance. Like, you ever see like black, like blood that's like dried up and turned brown, damn near black? That shit was everywhere, but there was no body. This shit still blows my mind.
I'm just going to tell you completely honestly how it happened, okay? This was years and years and years ago. I was in a session where I was met by a guide named O'Donnelly. He was a little Gaelic man, okay? And he told me, y'all spell O'Donnelly wrong. It's O-D-O-G-H-N-A-L-I-E. Like, he was like Donnoll. Anyway, he was like, turn my ringer off, sorry. Anyway, like the first thing he did was like, y'all don't spell it right, which is like, I'm like, I see you, I love you. Like, that's something I would do. Like, first things first, let's get this shit corrected, okay? So O'Donnell took me on a journey, and I understood that he was an aspect of me, that he was like possibly one of my guides, or like a fractal of myself. Like, we were the same but different. Okay, y'all know how it goes. He took me on a journey, and I was in mid-century England, Ireland, Scotland area, and he immediately, it's kind of like The Nightmare Before Christmas, like he carried him around to all those scenes. It was like that. So here I am in the middle. He transports me to this mid-century battlefield where there's these two armies that are about to go to war. And we're in the middle of them. And I'm swiveling left to right, looking at both groups. And he's like, and again, I need you to know that it's all telepathic. There really aren't words. So when I say words to you, what I mean is I received this impression, and this is my best attempt to put it into this language that we have, that I don't care for. So he says, all of these men have the same heart, mind, spirit. They all have the same goals in life. They all just want safety, security, sustenance, to take care of their families, to have peace. That's all they want. Okay. They do not have beef with each other. That was a big part of the message. He's like, that group doesn't have any beef with that group. That they're not fighting because there's any material reason for this conflict. That was his point. They're about to end each other's lives, literally on autopilot, in service to something else, and not even at their own behest. They have no reasons for doing this other than the fact that they're soldiers. They're getting a military stipend. They're able to have resources for their families if they will sign up to fight in this war. So he's like, they don't want to kill each other. That's not why. He said, let me show you why they're fighting. And we went down under the earth. We went into the earth. And that is the first time I saw the black goo substance. At the time, I thought it was oil. I interpreted this scene as though it was greed for oil, but I was very confused because this was mid-century. There weren't gasoline combustion engines. So in the vision, I recall being confused. Like, why would they be fighting over black gooey stuff inside the earth when they don't need it? It was greed, though. Okay, so this goo was creating greed amongst the humans, is what I thought it was creating amongst the humans. This goo was influencing the minds of the leaders. And I thought that it was greed. Okay, but it wasn't. We'll keep going. So he said, it's this goo. It is affecting them. And he started showing me that when they died, that the blood would sink down into the dirt, and it would charge up this goo that was underneath this location. And I was like, okay, I didn't understand what I was seeing. Then the next scene he takes me to is this giant castle. It's probably, 4 or 5 stories tall inside. And there's a giant arachnid posted up in the corner. She's about 4 stories tall and 4 stories wide. She's huge. And I know she's a she because she's pregnant. She's got billions of eggs on her stomach, this big silk bubble on her stomach, full of eggs. He said, it's her. So I understood telepathically that the goo in the ground was the same as this spider, that they are the same, represented. They're 2 different forms of the same consciousness, of the same thing. And he showed me to her up there, posted up, pregnant. And then he goes on to show me, and I go on it's like a slideshow. I just go on this journey that he had been on. He shows me himself in every timeline, every dimension, trying to, y'all, my granddaughter does my nails. Okay, y'all know, just look past the nails. Okay, we're working. She's getting there. She's practicing. This is what I've got. And it's gel, so I can't even take it off easily. So anyway, he shows me that he has tried to kill this thing in every timeline and every dimension, that he goes on and tells me all about. I see his whole backstory. I won't tell you all about that here, but I understand how he got where he got, but he is like a time traveler and a dimensional traveler. Like he had sloughed off his body and formed a structure for himself where he could move across time and dimensions to battle this thing, to run different simulations to try to kill it. Okay. And he said, you ain't killing it. You're not killing it. You need to know that. And at the time when I had this vision, I was not this Lisa. I was barely still cleaning, getting the goop out of my eyes. I just woke up. I did not understand what I was seeing. I understand it completely now. I did not understand it at the time. I just deposited it and said, well, at someday in the future, I'll understand it. By the way, if you have visions and experiences that you don't understand at the time, please don't disregard them. And also don't think that they weren't for anything. And even if you don't understand at the time, put it in your pocket, trust it, don't throw it away because you don't understand that you're not crazy, you're not out there. Just hold on to it. Come back. It'll come back later. Have the experiences and let them build on themselves. So I understand that you can't kill it. He's like, you cannot kill it. I need you to know that there's only one way to manage this stuff, that it is infecting humans. It affects humans. It brings out this violence and this rage because she feeds on the suffering. She feeds on the wrath. She feeds on the blood. She feeds on the loss, the destruction. She feeds on all of that stuff. So the leaders who are infected by her create a world that's full of war and poverty and destruction, and that they specifically create it because that's her food source. At least that's what they believe her food source to be. By the way, she can also be fed positively, but no one's talked to her. Okay? She's like that Moana. Like, we just need to turn the heart to, she's full of rage because nobody's like, bitch, what you need? Is it a Snickers? Like, what's up? What's wrong? So anyway, I've talked to it. I understand that it isn't just, that's just what is mostly here, and that gets amplified and feeds her. But there are other ways to feed her. You just have to be as positive as you are negative, and it's just very difficult to develop this level of positivity here in this realm because of how it's designed. And because, unfortunately, once you get trained by the black goo hum, it's very difficult to get enough light enough that would work as a food source for her, but you can do it. So anyway, he's saying you ain't killing her, okay? Anything you try to do to kill her makes her stronger. She multiplies. She's a hive. She exists in a goo. She can exist in the atmosphere. You cannot even find all of her pieces. You're never going to kill her. You can only neutralize her effects. How do you neutralize her effects? Peace. Stop fighting. Stop judging each other. Stop getting upset about other people's choices. Chill the fuck out. If we could just pass it. Just pass it. Pass it around. Everybody all at once. Okay? What he means is the collective disharmony is what feeds her. The only thing that would calm her down would be a harmonious collective, a harmonic, the original word, the original hum. That is the neutralizing vibration / harmonic. It's more than vibration. He's like, we have to get a certain percentage of humans to this harmonic, and she will be neutralized. So he sends me off like, okay, girl, go get him.
While the whole world was trying to figure out what black goo was. You know, that black stuff that just move when you put your skin close by it? Well, while y'all was trying to figure out what it was, me too. She already knew. I watched through all the comments. Seen a couple duets. Ain't nobody saying nothing about the black goo. See how y'all let stuff get out your mind? And then when somebody show you, you don't need reference it. Black goo. Just keep watching. Black goo is created when a combination of things get inside your body from that you ate and they mix together. Soda, then you eat Chinese food with sodium or something, or that soy sauce that you put in. Now y'all wonder she's shocking it, because when it get in our body, it take energy from our body. I told y'all we ain't supposed to eat meat, we're supposed to eat fruit. Fruit give us energy. When this black goo get in you, it gets its energy from you. Look how it moved to her skin. It's trying to bond with her, but it knows it's not inside her. It scares her so bad she take the scissors and just cut it. Just looking for her. They don't know where she is.
Black goo has existed for a while. As you can see here, that has been used by ancient Egyptians for the coffins. It has also been used across movies and media, as shown in the next few slides. Prometheus shows a really interesting concept of how this black goo became involved with aliens and humanity. Deepwater Horizon is based on a true story, and this has affected many people, affected our Earth, and it continues to do so. Let me explain why. What is black goo? According to the British Museum, it is plant oil, animal fat, tree resin, beeswax, and bitumen, a mix of all of these oils, these different ingredients, which is a solid crude oil. I like to think that oil is a sentient being because it poisons our environment. It can even poison our blood, like how humans, our red blood cells are sentient. We are sentient beings. Do you think that oil can be considered as sentient beings? Looking deeply at the ingredients, when it said tree resin, I see that trees are obviously sentient beings. They're alive. But here's what it says. Tree resin is a liquid that trees produce in response to injury, which hardens to a brittle solid. Trees heal people. Trees has that energy of healing, right? But bitumen is made from living things like plants, animals, and single-celled organisms that have died and been compressed over millions of years. Knowing all of that, of what contains in the black goo, I see that it can also be a way to use for our modern society, especially with AI growing. It can also be provided to AI technologies in any shape or form, however people use it. It could be in a form of powder, gas, who knows? And I see this to be almost becoming true, not really a conspiracy theory anymore, honestly. And this is a way that they can use to control people, control certain things. In Prometheus, you see this black goo be mixed with the human DNA and it creates an alien. Looking at a spiritual basis, the black goo, or also known as black tar, is seen as a negative entity. Especially with seeing your visions, your dreams, it's like foreshadowing something bad may happen. You see a black goo sticking to you. It's like trapping you, not allowing you to move or expand your consciousness. It's hindering you from something. This is what the black goo in all the Hollywood movies and the major news, especially with oil, is showing how it affects humanity, the animals. It traps them, it kills them. It's like a disease, basically, and which is why I say that this black goo is like a sentient being. You consider oil to be a sentient being. I saw a lot of patterns of how black goo was in many different movies. It shows how Hollywood, the elites already know this. It's already part of our society and plan, and it is also a threat to humanity. This is an article by Wire, and it introduces how graphene was found 10 years ago and it is now used daily. It's in our phone. If you continue reading this article, which I recommend you do, you will see how black goo is growing. It's going to be in our AI industry. It's going to be everywhere around us. It's already shown in movies, in TV shows.
in a way that you need to realize that actually, if you look into the black magic traditions, when people went to worship black goo stones and then the demons came out of it. This is something that needs further understanding as well. There is one Hollywood film that very precisely shows what this is about. It's basically, the story is about a human couple. She's a scientist, he's, I think, a soldier, and basically everything is already destroyed on planet Earth. And this woman she's a shaman, and she's collecting animal spirits, kind of finding the last surviving animals to pick up their spirit. And then they go to the place where the meteorite came down and find a black goo-like substance, and they manage to infect the alien black goo with the information field of Mother Earth. And then kind of Mother Earth manages to conquer the alien information field, healing the entire planet. So this is basically, I do not know who wrote the script for this film, but there's an extreme deep knowledge, because exactly the setup that is described in the film is the setup that is basically ruling the entire planet since 16,000 years, giving us this type of duality, giving us demons that for me appear to as the lost souls of a biosphere that self-destroyed and came here as a swarm of meteorites. So basically, this is the liquid brain of a different planet brought here by intention, because I don't believe that even if this planet exploded, we should have had like thousands of meteorites without black goo and maybe one with black goo. But what arrived here is only meteorites with black goo. So somebody brought this here by intention to, by intention, infect this planet with this alien consciousness. And the entities black magicians are talking to must be surviving beings that are not incarnating anymore because they lost their planets, but are still there as the souls of these beings, being highly intelligent. And if you look at that people painted from, let's say, their visions they had from this type of reality, it seems to be a spider-like species that was running this planet that self-destroyed. So these are like insect biology, spider-like, extremely intelligent and highly developed. And these were called the archons in our culture. So basically these are beings that started by communicating with people that were willing to communicate. They started to create this black magic entanglement to humanity, and they offered us the possibility to control others. This was something that was actually not within the human nature. All these ideas of running a biosphere not based on love but based on different emotions. This is what they kind of introduced to this planet. So the first things that came from the black magic rituals was blood and fire sacrifice. Ritually killing animals to gain this biophoton burst that is emitted when a being dies in pain. To, on one hand, feed the demons. This is what they needed to survive as beings. They didn't have a biology of their own, so they needed to feed on life force in a certain way. And on the other hand, some of the energy extracted by these rituals is also used to pay the people sacrificing, because they want to have worldly power. So if you want to have worldly power and gain profit, You need ways and means to control other people. And this painful emission of life force when you kill somebody can, if you know the game of black magic, can be used to force other people to do things they do not want to force, because facing these energies is extremely painful. And this has evolved and developed on our planet, and they switched from, let's say, the biophoton burst from killing animal and humans. It was changed to a system that is running today on torture energy. We are keeping billions of animals in concentration camp-like conditions on farms, making them suffer their entire life, killing them in cruelest ways, and then we eat them. Although this is not within our nature. Normally we have long lower intestines. We're supposed to be vegetarians, maybe with a possibility to digest a little meat before we starve as a security thing. Scoff meat from morning till evening. So this is actually all coming out of these black magic traditions, being fire and blood sacrifice, to produce torture energies that are utilized by the black magic community to run and rule this planet. So this is kind of the way that this little incident 16,000 years ago took over our culture, took over our way of living. And actually everything we do today is part of this agenda. This is all about control. Control is giving birth to scarcity. Because if I want to control things, I grab them and do not leave them for others. So the others do not have access anymore. So this is possessing things, owning things. So this is money. The moment I have money, I need a political system to administer all the things. So basically, every quality that we perceive as being normal, because we were born in this, actually is part of this black magic cult. If we go beyond this, before this, we come to a paradise state that is living in abundance, that we all just share free out of love with each other. Nature is giving us so much. We could all live in abundance without any problems, but we are infected by these energies. We are following their ways of control. So what we basically do is we connect ourselves to, not to love, but to torture energy by eating what we eat. This is how this is introduced into our system. And then we let ourselves being guided and ruled by torture energy, being in resonance with this. And this is what we call politics, and this is why politics want to go to World War III, because this is blood sacrifice. This is how they work, and this is how they maintain their system. And power is part of this system. We cannot solve a problem by replacing one governor by another one, because the concept of governing is black. We cannot replace a currency by a better currency, because the concept of money is black. So this is kind of, once you start to understand the ways that were introduced by this agenda, you start to realize that we are completely infected. It's like normally we think we are humans, but suddenly we realize, no, we are just one big piece of cancer that is running around.
Hollywood's obsession with the black goo. This is Megan Fox's maternity pictures. How sweet is this? Many believe that this is a subliminal messaging, but for what? Billie Eilish had it running out of her eyes, remember? It's very interesting how many celebrities are using it in their music videos to represent dark angels. Justin Timberlake's music video, for example. In this music video, Justin Timberlake begins seeing demonic faces while walking through a crowd. He's searching through the crowd until he stumbles upon what looks like a demon. And she's spitting this black glue all over his face, and it covers his entire body. Lady Gaga's used it and many others. And what it reminded me of was Venom, when Venom was trying to become symbiotic with his host. He jumped from host after host until he found one that was compatible. And what was very interesting to me is that some religions see parasites as demonic beings. What blew my mind even more is that demons were believed to inhabit pagan idols. It also references the three corpses, and they are three supernatural parasites that enter the human body at birth and reside in the head, chest, and abdomen. Very interesting.
Why don't you know about black goo? Because the moment you ask what it is and how it got there, you stop being asleep and start waking up. They call it black goo, but in hidden texts, whistleblower confessions, esoteric fragments scattered across time, it's something else. A programmable matter, a sentient parasite, an ancient intelligence, fallen, dark, hungry. Some say it came from beyond the stars, carried in meteorites, seeded in the earth like a virus. Some say it was here before us, watching, waiting, weaving itself into our consciousness, our technology, our bodies. They say it feeds on fear, that it binds itself to war, industry, control, and that beneath the surface in the deepest labs and the oldest catacombs they've been studying it, trying to merge with it, trying to harness its code. But what if the black goo doesn't want to be harnessed? What if it wants to harness us?
Like substance on her car after a strong rain in Malaga, Spain. A woman proceeded to record the video that you're about to watch. Pay very close attention.
A ver, esto es granizo porque esto tiene pinta de ser gelatina. Mira, o sea, esto es granizo. Es que tengo todo el coche igual. A ver, dice.
Some people on the internet are saying that this has to be some sort of black goo type substance due to the fact that this is not the first time or not the first video where something like this actually happens. This, for instance, is another video. Check this out.
This is literally the weirdest thing. Okay, it's 65 degrees, so y'all know it's too warm for snow and ice. And it was not like that last night. This chemical residue is from the rain, y'all. And it's so bad, like it doesn't even want to come off my car. Like, what are they putting in the air? It's so, like, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't wipe off with the windshield wiper. It just smears this weird frosty, waxy looking stuff into the windshield. Like, it's not coming off. You hear that? I'm gonna have to scrape this off for real, like with a little brush or something, because it's not coming off.